Alright guys, it is time for another product review Friday. This week we are going to talk about a great way to keep some of your food and drinks cold while out on the trail without spending a ton of money. Coming up. Alright, so as we all know, there's tons of cooler options out there. More than any of us have probably ever even seen. I mean, just type in cooler into Amazon and watch what happens. So, with that said, there are a few that I always tend to want to go back to. One of which we're going to talk about today, which is the Coleman 25 quart stacker cooler. I'm not going to give a whole lot of details on this. Instead, I'm kind of just going to get into the pros and cons this week because let's be honest, it's cooler, right? Not a whole lot to talk about. It keeps your food and drinks cold. So with that said, there are a few awesome things about this that I really like. The first being that it is low profile, which is really ultimately one of the reasons I keep going back to it. As you can see, it doesn't stick up real high, and when I put it in the razor, it's really no higher than the actual top of the plastic on the razor. So I'm able to keep it strapped down and secured really easy without it moving around. The other thing I love about it is it's stackable, and they're inexpensive. So with that said, you can get a couple of them and just stack them up when you need more than one cooler. The great thing is though, with one cooler, it can hold up to 24 cans, or obviously a mixture of cans and food. So you can really get a decent amount in there for how low profile it is. And even with the 24 cans, you still have enough room for ice. There's also multiple color options available. I don't really care that much about that, to be honest, but if you do, there are some other options for you right now. And I'm going to put all the links in the description below, so you can click those and it'll take you right to the different color options and all that. This one is obviously red. I'm not sure why, but right now this one is actually more expensive than the other ones. It wasn't when I bought it. I don't know if they just kind of rotate that depending on what they have in stock or what. But click the link in the description below and you'll be able to figure out which one is the least expensive. Or if you want to spend more for a certain color, obviously that's an option as well. Another great thing I love about this, and I kind of already alluded to it, is the price. So you can get one of these right now on Amazon for less than $25. So you can still buy two if you want to stack and be able to have a ton of food and a ton of drinks in two separate coolers and still spend less than $50. So it's definitely a great option for the price. Last thing I do want to mention is a pro. In this stackable design, they also make a 33 quart. So if you do want a larger one for maybe a ton of food, you're going to go away for the whole weekend, so you want to be able to pack more food, but you still want to have a bunch of beverages in there, you can get one of the 33 quart ones and then one of the 24 quart ones as well. As far as cons go, there really isn't a lot that I have negative to say about it. The cooler itself is pretty basic. It's made out of plastic. The lid comes off and on easy. We've actually dropped this one off the four-wheeler before, not the razor, but off of a separate four-wheeler before, and it's been just fine. So it is pretty durable overall. However, as many of you know, the name Yeti, that's an awesome brand. They keep stuff cold for a ridiculously large amount of time. They're definitely great coolers. This cannot compare to a Yeti when it comes to keeping stuff cold. All right, I'm sure most of you could have just assumed that, but if you're looking for something that you need to keep stuff cold all weekend long, like if you're going to be out on the trail all weekend and not have access to a freezer or any additional ice, this might not be the method to go to. Then you might want to start looking at the Yeti, which obviously, as many of you know, starts in the hundreds of dollars. So that is its only downside. But as far as day trips or being able to refill ice, in the evening or late afternoon or whatever it is, if you're going to be out for days at a time, this is a great option. All right, guys, that's all we got for Product Review Friday this week. I know that's pretty quick down and dirty, but we got to the point. Hopefully it was helpful. If you have a recommendation for a different cooler that you've used out on the trail, please leave that in the comments below. Or if you have any questions, leave that in the comments below as well.